Il gruppo EcoMontado è un progetto finanziato nell'ambito del programma di sviluppo rurale portoghese PDR 2020 e cofinanziato dal Fondo Europeo Agricolo per lo Sviluppo Rurale. FISER, nell'ambito della priorità P4. Ripristinare, preservare e valorizzare gli ecosistemi legati all'agricoltura e alla silvicoltura. I problemi specifici e generali del territorio a cui il gruppo operativo intende rispondere riguardano la gestione e l'uso inefficiente del suolo, che causano la perdita di acqua e nutrienti, nonché la progressiva riduzione del suolo nelle aree del montado, fenomeno che sta contribuendo alla desertificazione. Queste dinamiche sono ulteriormente accentuate dagli effetti del cambiamento climatico. In questo contesto, le tecniche di ripristino degli ecosistemi, ispirate ai principi della permacultura e dell'agroecologia, come il Keyline design, si propongono come soluzioni efficaci al diffuso problema della perdita di suolo e dell'uso inefficiente dell'acqua nelle aree del montado. Esse rappresentano un approccio innovativo per la gestione integrata delle risorse nei territori agro-silvopastorali, con particolare attenzione alla conservazione del suolo e dell'acqua. Il problema individuato rappresenta dunque un'opportunità per introdurre un nuovo metodo di ripristino del suolo e, di conseguenza, dell'intero ecosistema, attraverso lo sviluppo di una tecnologia innovativa strettamente legata alla gestione forestale sostenibile e alla produzione di beni forestali, in particolare del sughero, risorsa di grande rilevanza nelle aree rurali caratterizzate dal montado. Il metodo Keyline è una linea topografica tracciata lungo una linea di livello, utilizzando come punto di riferimento un punto sul terreno dove il flusso d'acqua rallenta naturalmente, creando un'area di accumulo idrico. Usando questa linea come riferimento, si tracciano linee con una lieve pendenza, circa 1% rispetto alla linea chiave, per redistribuire l'acqua sulla superficie e immagazzinarla in punti specifici. In questo modo, l'acqua si distribuisce nel suolo e viene progressivamente trasportata dalle zone di valle verso le aree di cresta. Il Keyline Design è un metodo di pianificazione del territorio sviluppato negli anni 50 dall'ingegnere minerario australiano Yeomans. Originariamente pensato per riabilitare terreni agricoli degradati, aridi e soggetti a incendi, si concentra sulla massimizzazione della ritenzione e distribuzione dell'acqua piovana nel suolo. Il sistema utilizza un disegno basato sulla topografia per deviare l'acqua dalle valli verso le creste, riducendo il deflusso superficiale e l'evaporazione, migliorando al contempo l'infiltrazione e la fertilità del suolo. Questo aumenta l'attività biologica, la materia organica e favorisce suoli più sani e resilienti. Un concetto centrale è la linea chiave, una linea di contorno tracciata da un punto in cui il flusso dell'acqua rallenta naturalmente e si accumula leggermente fuori livello. Da lì si tracciano linee con una pendenza dell'1% circa per redistribuire l'acqua in modo più uniforme nel paesaggio. Questo processo viene effettuato con l'aratro di Yeomans, che crea solchi profondi senza rivoltare il terreno, proteggendo così la struttura del suolo e la vita microbica. In Europa, dove l'aratro di Yeomans è raro, si utilizzano spesso decompattatori adattati con risultati simili. Il Keyline Design non solo migliora la struttura del suolo, ma contribuisce attivamente alla formazione di nuovo suolo e all'espansione delle zone radicali, in particolare nelle aree con copertura vegetale scarsa. Supporta la crescita delle colture, il miglioramento dei pascoli, le piante aromatiche, gli alberi e i sistemi agroforestali.
I made key lines here in this property because I would like to carry water from to the from the valleys to the high side. So, and where I would like to utilize better the water that is uh, uh, a poor thing that I have here. I don't have much water here in the property, so it's a dryland property. Uh, so I try to put the key lines to to get a better use of water. I did that and I got good results with I made the contours, and afterwards we plow to 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 improve the infiltration of the water and the circulation of the water in the paddock. It's really difficult to do key lines in agroforestry because many times the key lines will go against the trees. So it's really difficult to design the contours between the trees, and afterwards to plow to make the infiltration in the middle of the trees. That is the main thing. But anyway, if you don't have the trees and if you have an undulated contour, an undulated plant landscape, it's quite useful in dryland conditions. Yes.
The keyline technique, it's mainly focused on managing the water in the space and making that the water it's uniformly sprayed on the space and not going to all one part and create erosion and problems of compactation, and then you have a very dry area and a very wet area. The keyline technique allows you to put the raining water to manage the water in the soil. So when we wanted to introduce trees on a space that is compacted, I will say in general desertificated, this soil has very special conditions, especially for instance in terms of drainage. It's not good in drainage. So when we apply the key line, you retain the water in the rainy seasons for a long time in the soil. If you seed more than plant trees, these seeds and these small plants, if you plant it, to have the good season to plant it, that is in winter, there will be normally when you apply the key line all the winter and the spring with a lot of water well distributed in the soil. And that's not a good thing for the first year of the small trees and the small planted trees, because we have more and more a big shock between the wet season in the end of spring and the summer. And the reality is normally in 1 or 2 weeks everything dry. So the plants were used through a lot of water. In one moment they don't have water and they collapse. So I will say that this is a technical problem related with the climate that we have. That's a very special climate. We are talking about Mediterranean climate. So keyline technique, even for planting trees, showed up to be a very good technique in other climates. So we are talking about Mediterranean. We are talking about this specific goal that was introducing trees to create a new system in the world. So I think if we go to other climate, or if you use, for instance, plants, bigger plants and not seeds, the technique will be much more friendly, let's say. Or what I think it's a lesson between these is normally the people that are looking for new solutions, they are very enthusiastic with all kinds of techniques, and they try to somehow to sell it like a very good thing in any conditions, and it's not true. So we have to deal a little bit with our enthusiasm and try to think that because it's new, it's not something good always. It's good sometimes when you apply it well. Sometimes it's not the best. So for me, I have to tell you that the straight lines are much more efficient for managing the crop in the first years. Curve lines, and you cannot do keyline without curve lines, are very problematic for different reasons, because you don't see the line, you don't see the trees, and then when you make operations like cropping hay or making organic matter to put on the trees or something, if you don't see the trees, it's a big problem. So we abandoned for this go the key line, and we started with straight lines. And you will ask me, but the effect of key line, what happened? No, the effect of key line when you have a forest will be guaranteed, because the trees will make the shape for managing the water. And that I'm searching for all type of techniques, approaches related with agroecology, and Keyline, it's one of them. It comes maybe from permaculture, but I knew Keyline because of an independent project established here in Freixo. They asked me to plant probably one of the first food forests, not agro-forests. It was the oldest concept, and they asked me if they can try it in this farm, a food forest, and they applied the Keyline. It was not so bad in that reality, for different reasons. Mainly they were working with more domestic and bigger trees. I was mainly seeding more than planting an agroforest. That's important, is different between planting and seeding. So they allowed me to meet the technology. And then it was also important that there were the facilitators. Jesus, he's Spanish and he's a very good designer of Keyline. And he was already in the farm, and I asked him, why not we make a vineyard? And we've done a vineyard, and it was a very successful thing, because maybe that was also with planting and not seeding. And then we get enthusiastic because we had some money from a life project, a European life project called Montado to climate change, and we used that money to make an experience of more than 50 hectares of seeding agroforestry with Keyline technique, and that was the thing that was not so good, but it was good in terms of an experience and learning. So I think the Keyline approach, it's very important for some realities, but here for some reasons it was not a success in all the things that we tested.